Hello everybody, I've been told that this video has some bad plasma takes and that I should react to it. It's called A Love-Hate Relationship with Bugs and UX Issues, and it's by Mats Creative. So what is it about?
Have you ever liked something or wanted to like something so much and yet it just did everything imaginable everything in its imagination to make you dislike it? Yeah, well that's KDE for me right there. I need to mute the volume of my desktop audio. I need to hit play. Oh, I disabled it. Well, that's sad. Let's try.
What? Okay, so he's doing something over here.
I disabled it. Well, play. I need to mute the volume of my desktop audio. I need to hit play. Oh, I disabled it. Well, that's sad. Let's try to make this. I'm trying to show you a bug. It's hilarious. I got a video of it in case
I'm somewhat confused by all of this.
I need to. Nope, it won't work. I'll show you a video of it. Don't worry. I always keep videos of things. All right, go to clips.
I do love the chilly music that he used as a background.
Screencasts. Watch this. See that right there? And then it completely destroys the video.
Yeah. I'm not sure, obviously, what exactly causes this. It's not something that I've never seen happen, so it's not the first time I see it. Yeah, it's not a good bug. What's interesting is that it destroys the videos. I've seen that notification gets resized incorrectly, so you see the content with the right size and then the rest of the notification is just the blur. But constantly changing size and killing a video recording whilst doing it is not something I had seen before.
Yeah, so that's a problem. And the video doesn't recover either, which is another issue. Again, these are bugs with KDE, and they are a thing. It also happens on 6.1.1. whatever, and it happens on 6.2, so they haven't fixed it yet, and it's a real issue. I don't hate KDE, not by a long shot. I just like the fact that there's just so many bugs that hinder me using it and gets in my way, to the point where I got it to a certain point where I loved it. I'm not even joking. If I go into my Discord and theme and we head up, I'm going to show you. I think this is it. Yeah, this looks like KDE here. So this is what I had.
By the way, I love this customization. It looks so pretty. I don't know what the background is from, but like... And it's not super easy to do like a good customization with solid colors and transparency, but when you use the accent color like this, it really works. I would have just added a little bit of margin. I don't know if you can see this, but the arch icon is like touching the border, and that annoys me, but nitpick.
Had it. It looked exactly like my GNOME 1-to-1 because, well, GNOME and KDE can look exactly like one another without any hindrances.
Well, KDE can look like GNOME. GNOME can't really look like KDE.
Or issues. The only difference is GNOME gets to keep its blur, where KDE, you sacrifice its blur to get rid of these corners right here.
You totally can have the blur and also the rounded corners. If you cannot achieve that, it's because your Plasma theme is bugged. When you do a Plasma theme, one element that you put within the Plasma theme is a mask. You can use the official Plasma theme as a guidance, and that tells where to blur. So if you put some theme and you see blurring behind the corners, then that shouldn't happen, and it's the theme creator's fault for doing that. And if you did the theme, you can send me a message and I can try to help you out. But of course you can have blur with Plasma. Like I'm the biggest blur fan, so of course you can have blur.
It's sad, but it happens. And, I didn't even install any themes for this either because this can be done with a simple widget. And look at this.
Okay, so that's your issue, I think. I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming this is the panel recoloring widget. I don't remember the exact name. I do know that it can change a lot of things about the panel. Not exactly sure how it works, but I'm assuming that if you see blur outside of the panel, then it changes the radius of the panel, but not the mask, because otherwise you shouldn't see incorrect blur. I would tell you that I would go and investigate, but I'm not kind of having that much free time, so maybe if you're the author of the plasma panel recoloring widget, you can shoot me a message and tell me what's going on, and we can try to fix that.
This is where we're at right now. This is what is... Oh, no, it's doing it again, isn't it? There we go. So this is what I did for the... Ladies and gentlemen, this is another bug. There we go.
So, okay, so looks like what's happening here is that...
So this is
let me
what
see.
I did.
Let me see more clearly.
No, it's doing it again, isn't it? There we go. So this is what I did.
So he's clicking here, which is outside the panel, and the panel widget pops up. I'm quite confused by this. I have no clue what this could be. Because if you click outside the panel, how on earth could the click get redirected within the panel? I honestly have no idea what's happening here.
I did for the... Ladies and gentlemen, this is another bug. There we go. So this is what I have going on right now. We minimized
Still a beautiful config, by the way. And now we have got correct margins in the panel.
an adorable little wallpaper with Zelda chasing after Link, and of course their day's about to be ruined by these dudes because they're red and they're filled with malice, and this dude's blue, so he's fine. And all in all, it's just like, okay, I like this. This suits me. It feels nice. And then I opened up this, and my whole fucking day is ruined. I censored myself, by the way.
Okay, I'm assuming that he's annoyed by the very long sidebar that we have, which fair enough, I guess, but like we spent a lot of time like properly configuring it so that it has all the information in nice categories and the correct place, and there's a search. It's not that bad. Do you think it's that bad? Am I the Lulu here?
KDE has many great qualities. It really does. But there's just so much holding it back, and it's all just simple issues that could be fixed with like 10 minutes of learning design on what not to do on YouTube.
Believe me, KDE developers went through more than 10 minutes of learning design and not through YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong if you don't point out what's wrong. This is very vague. I'll admit that sometimes we don't have the best interfaces, of course, but like I wouldn't say the problem is that bad, especially recently that we've done a lot of work on that.
10 minutes. Because when I was 24, and that was a very long time ago, I was building up certificates and things. This is before I was disabled. And I took a design course, how to build iPhone apps and things like that, how to build desktop applications, what to do and what not to do. And KDE is a big example of what not to do.
Okay, so go ahead and tell me why now.
And I don't like saying that because people these days, they don't know what an opinion is. But in the book of what not to do, you have every example in the book in the menus, again, right here. And you have it in their own applications, like Dolphin. We put this over here. And well, Dolphin's actually a little bit more cleaned up in 6.2, which I do appreciate. But again, the settings are all over the place. They're all
Why all over the place?
split up. They're put in different places. Instead of being in one big configure file, they're stuck in literal submenu hell. And that's one of the big problems.
What? I am deeply confused by what he's saying here. So first of all, of course we cannot put all the settings in a big configure file. Obviously. Like, come on, I don't have to explain this. Regarding settings all over the place, I wouldn't say that Dolphin settings are all over the place. Like, you've got, if you don't, you can either choose to use the menu bar or not. So you can opt in to the menu bar. If you're not using the menu bar, then you get the super nice hamburger menu, which contains all the options. And that's it. Like, all of the options of Dolphin are in the hamburger menu. They're not all over the place. And I wouldn't even say they're like in sub-menu hell. Like, it's pretty clean and you find there what you expect to find there. And if you want a menu bar, just opt into the menu bar, and all the options are presented, in the menu bar categories. So you can find even more options, and everything else is pretty. What's the issue here? What's all over the place? I don't get it.
And then you have other applications like KDE Live. It just goes on and on and on. Every single Qt application that I've ever come across has been hacked together and completely jank.
There's actually a lot of work in designing these things, but it's not hacked together. Of course, we aren't perfect. It's hard to explain the design behind something without a clear criticism. Like, all I've heard so far is the options are all over the place, which I don't think is true. Like, very objectively, like, if you want to open an application, all the options are either in the hamburger menu or in the menu bar, depending on which one you choose. And of course, you can open the setting page for all the settings. I don't get what you mean here.
It includes Yuzu, even on Windows. On Linux, it was a disaster. Constantly, you wouldn't be able to set settings, it would break. There's a current bug in KDE right now where you have to double do something. Like, if I go in here and I enable HDR and I hit apply and I keep it, okay?
Yeah, okay, this is a bug. I'm not sure if it has been fixed since this video was published. Apparently, applying the HDR doesn't get applied under the hood. It's a rare bug, but sometimes one of these things slips out, and it's rather easy to fix them. So hopefully this was reported and fixed. I can check. I don't have HDR, so I can check.
The apply button's still there. Why is the apply button still there? Turn off, apply.
But this isn't like some major UX mistake. It's a rather small bug. It only happens with HDR within display configuration. Of course, we should fix that. I think we did. I don't know, but
it registers. It changed my monitor from HDR to non-HDR. But if I hit close, why do I have to hit apply again?
Yeah, it's a bug.
Okay, great. All right. That's not supposed to happen. I gotta help this guy out. 1 second. There we go. He's gonna give me free stuff.
Should I make videos while at the same time playing some video game? Would that help increase my entertainment?
It's just that KDE has a lot of work to do. 6.2 is a part of that work. 6.2 fixed a lot of problems. If we go into here and we do edit mode, and we do this, you're gonna notice that yes, the widgets now appear over there. They're a lot more set apart. They look a little bit better. They cleaned it up a little bit better. But the way the widgets are offered to you in the first place is a huge part of the problem. This is part of what not to do when
Why?
it comes to design. And I know there's always going to be one kid in the comments going to be like, if you don't like it, change it. Here's the thing, I shouldn't have to.
No. You should explain me why. You're giving me very little details to work with. You can't open something and say, "Sui, you shouldn't do this." Okay, but why? What's wrong with this? It's a sidebar with all of your widgets. Each widget has like a title and an icon to recognize it with, and it's not even that long. What's the problem with it? Because I'm guessing, but it didn't say so. I don't know, but I'm guessing that it doesn't like very long list of things. That is things it should just be like one page to select from. But if we do that, then we lose the representations of the widgets, because obviously this application menu icon to when you make it very small, you're not gonna be able to distinguish anything in it. So we should get rid of it if we have all the widgets in just one page, and that would become very hard to navigate. I don't think this is bad at all. This is the same thing that Android does, by the way, and that's Google. That's the one giving you the design hats and everything. If you decide to like add a widget, you get the list of widgets that you scroll through, and each widget has its own representation. What's wrong here? I don't get it.
Have to. These days, people shouldn't have to go in and fix other people's problems. What is this, Bethesda?
No, I totally agree. Though, do tell me what's the problem here.
No, it doesn't work like that. People have been offering cleanup advice for UX and design decisions to KDE.
Oh, by the way, do you want to see a UX bug that I'm the fault of because it's my fault? Do you see it if I zoom? No, you don't see it. Okay. But in the panel and down here, you can see that there are these blue thingies that are margins. It's visual representation of the margin of the panel that go beyond the panel and outside. And that's because those thingies work very well with panels with low corner radius, but this one has a very high corner radius, and I cannot tell that from, I'm not able to, the code doesn't know about the panel radius, so it's not super easy to fix, but yeah, this should have been fixed. It's my fault. See, I'm trying to help you out here.
KDE for ages. If you even bring it up on Reddit these days, they'll ban you. Okay.
No, we won't. No, we don't ban people for criticism. Believe me, there's a lot of it. We do ban people if they're being like a jerk about it. We don't allow people to be actively offensive. But if you say what you've said in this video, totally fine.
Okay, I've seen it happen. They just don't want to take advice. They don't want to clean up their UX, and they're being forced to do so slowly to comply with Valve and other things that are moving forward without them.
What? No. Wait. This is not what's happening at all. There has been so much work on UX over the past few years, and not because of Valve. Like, love Valve. Valve is sponsoring KDE work, and that is lovely. But there has been a ton of UX work regardless of Valve. And I'm not sure even what to reply here, because I feel like we as a developers community are extremely active in like listening to user feedback and going to Reddit, responding to comments, and like tracking bug reports and these sort of things. What I think isn't super clear is that when you're a developer, like, you see a ton of feedback, like much more than you would think. Like, I receive personal emails almost every week with like people telling me that this should be fixed, that this should be done like that, and that's on top of the Reddit stuff, and that's on top of the bug reports, obviously, which are so many, because it's a very big product with a lot of customers, users, and a lot of like nuances, KDE Plasma is a very complex product. So there's so much feedback that reaches every developer. And of course, we're not some giant company with a lot of developers who can work on all of that stuff. We are a very small team of well, right now I'm not developing because I took a break, but we're a very small team. So it's very hard to like address every feedback that gets in our way. But there's a ton of work on UX, and I think it has improved so much over the past few years. And that's not because of Valve.
And this is where things are starting to change finally.
So again, big thanks to Valve because they're sponsoring a lot of KDE development, but you got what I'm saying.
Finally, and I'm happy about it because I've been using KDE since 1998, off and on, but never completely fully for months on end, except when the KDE 6 beta came around because I wanted to give feedback. I wanted things to improve, and they didn't take any of the feedback. They didn't fix any of those bugs. They just stabilized it to a point, called it good, and threw it at you. They
Wait. Come on, don't build up this narrative of we don't care about people, we as the Plasma developers, KDE developers. It's totally untrue. The thing is it talking about 6.0?
Feedback I want, except when the KDE 6 beta came around because I wanted to give...
Yeah, it was this Plasma 6 beta. You don't have an idea how many bug reports were made about the beta because obviously it's a beta of a new major version. Lots of people are testing it, and you know there's a lot of things to work on because it's a new major version. And we fixed an incredible amount of bugs during that period because a lot were being reported. A lot of people who had never used Plasma recently decided to try Plasma for 6.0, like this person seems to have done. And that means a lot more bug reports than usual, not because the software is worse, but because there's more people testing. And again, we were not that many. And I think we've done an incredible job given our resources. And I don't know, we can go and see the stats of how many bug reports went unaddressed by this person. Usually we triage them, most of them, if not practically all.
Feedback. I wanted things to improve, and they didn't take any of the feedback. They didn't fix any of those bugs.
You don't have an idea of how much feedback. Like if we listen to everybody, it would be a mess.
They just stabilized it to a point, called it good, and threw it at you. They rushed it out the door. They didn't even care enough to look at the feedback and say, maybe this is something I have to fix.
No, shut up. Come on. This is so unfair to the work that has been done. There has been a lot of work on the feedback that was given to the bug reports that were reported. But part of it, and there has been a lot of work on Plasma 6. It was not rushed out of the door. It has been in development for like 5 times the usual time that you take for a release, something like that, if not even more. I don't recall right now. We were talking about the release like more than 1 year prior on how to do everything. There's been so much work behind the scenes, but at a certain point you do have to give yourself a deadline where you sort of have to publish the new version. And I think it went really well. If you compare to the like previous Plasma major releases, sometimes there were very big issues on 2.0. Plasma 6.0 was fine. Like it worked. It had very few regressions. It had a few missing features. But if you consider how much work it has been done, like, that was great, I think.
And they're doing it again with 6.2. Do you know how many bugs have been reported in the last 7 days? Let alone in the last 24 hours? Let's go take a look at that, shall we? Because that's probably an important thing.
Let's do that.
Let me just click my fishing spot. This is the KDE bug tracker. This is where you go in and you report bugs. They have the last 24 hours. and they have the last 7 days. So 24 hours, 52 bugs, not bad, but that's only 24 hours.
Yeah, it's 2 bug reports every hour, including those when the developers sleep, and that's the good days. Again, we are not a big team.
330 bugs found in the last 7 days. Now, 4 hours.
Sorry, I was looking. Okay.
330 bugs found in the last 7 days. Now, what's changed in the last 7 days? Let's take a look. Oh, the result is limited to 500 bugs. My bad. 1,805 bugs in the last 7 days have been changed or altered in some way. Have gotten reports. Kden Live isn't opening. That happens on GNOME. I hate when that happens.
By the way, changed also means mostly means developers answering on the bug report, some work being done on the bug report. So seeing that we've been working in the past week, was it, on 1,000 bug reports, that's good.
Because I try to make a video about improving, and then there's more, and this one, Krita deleted my artworks. Yay, Krita's stable. There's just so many issues, and people...
No shit. What is this about? I don't even know how to say this. If you take any product that's used by this many people, that has this many different applications, this many sub-projects, this many nuances, this many customization, or even just without the customization, honestly, you're getting thousands of bug reports at any given time. You cannot take a list of 1,000 bug reports and say, see, it's bad, it has 1,000 bug reports. That's not how it works. Any commercial, even product with a large user base is gonna have thousands of bug reports at any given time, because that's software. I don't know how else to say this.
People like to believe...
What you should be looking at is, are the number of bug reports for a given project going up or going down? That's a better metric. And for KDE Plasma, they're going down. We are slowly resolving bug reports and getting down the number. Of course, it's many of them. You can actually go see statistics about it. So it's... I totally forgot how to use this. Where is the stats button? Reports. I think it's reports. Oh, I forgot that old charts. Maybe you can try to save me. I want unconfirmed, confirmed, and assigned bug reports. Let's take all products. So this is going to include everything, everything. And the bad thing is unconfirmed bugs, which basically means that somebody put a bug out there, nobody could reproduce it, nobody could do anything about it, and that's very bad. That's when the user doesn't feel like they're being listened to. And confirmed is slightly better, because it's at least we know that this is a bug and we're working on it. And then there's the blue, which is assigned, which is that this is being fixed actively. And this blue line is our maximum capacity. It's not us not caring about the number of bugs. And you can see that there's been a lot of work in bringing down the unconfirmed bug reports. The trend, I think, is really good in the last few years. The confirmed bugs are going up, but if you break it down by products, the most important products such as Plasma are going a bit better, because that's where most of the focus is. But again, we're talking about, 35,000 bugs. And that's not because Plasma is bad, that's because software is complex. And KDE does an incredible amount of things. with a very small team, but in an incredible amount of things. It's gonna have 35,000 bugs. Hopefully we can get it down a bit, but we're not gonna get under 1,000.
Because it doesn't happen on their computer, that it doesn't happen for anybody else, or that it's a skill issue, or that it's a you problem.
What the fuck?
Just so many issues. And people like to believe because it doesn't happen on their computer that it doesn't happen for anybody else, or that it's a skill issue, or that it's a you problem.
No, wait. I'm hoping that you're not meaning KDE developers here. Like, I'm hoping that you mean other people, as in other people. KDE developer don't go to you telling, oh, doesn't happen on my machine, skill issue, close bug report. That doesn't happen. What does happen is if you've got a very weird bug report that we can only see on one machine, and that usually what we do is we ask, does this happen with a fresh user on a fresh install or on a different machine, which I know is a bit annoying to test, but it's troubleshooting steps that we do need if it only happens to one person on one computer. Like, is this a problem that's going to happen elsewhere? Maybe it's a slightly broken install. We're trying to debug that. And if it turns out that a clean install fixes it or a clean user fixes it, and there's just one bug report about it that we cannot reproduce in any way, there's not much we can do about it. How would we fix that? We can try to report. We cannot try to do a bug fix in the dark. Like, we don't know what the bug is on how to reproduce it, but let's fix it. We try our best. We never not care about a bug report. We never say that it's a skill issue.
Bugs don't work like that. If you can reproduce that bug every single day, every single time, do you know what it stops becoming? Yeah, a you issue. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to go to the end of this video. I'm going to hit play. It doesn't do notifications when I'm... One second. What's this? Oh. That's why. Try this again. There it is.
This is pretty weird.
Reproducible every single freaking time. Unless one do not disturb.
This is super weird. I have no clue what might be causing this right now. I hope there's a bug report about this.
By the way, fine again. Ooh, Seether. Top tier. I missed a Searing Spirit? Man. I'm gonna look at it this way. Look.
Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to say this. I'm already half an hour in the video. I should have said that sooner. I'm basically doing this thing, the advent of Nico, which means doing one video every day till Christmas in the hope of reaching 400 paying subscribers. And that's because I decided to take a break from KDE development I was burned out, to be honest. And so I'm trying to make a living with videos. So if you want to join, there's links in the video description and you can help me out. But back to the video.
I give KDE more chances than I've ever given anybody in my life. And that's saying a lot. Because I want it to improve and I want it to get better, and people just constantly put me down for it. Look, if we're forced to accept your opinion, you're forced to accept ours. Just because it works on your machine, it doesn't mean, okay, that it's going to work on anybody else's machine.
We never say it works on my machine. This doesn't happen. What we say is, I cannot reproduce this. And if nobody on the teams can reproduce it, and these troubleshooting steps of a fresh install don't work, we can only do so much. Like practical, do you expect that you ship your computer to us or something? How can we fix something if none of us can reproduce it, or have any vague idea on what could be the cause? We can give you some more troubleshooting steps to try to find the issue, but this takes a lot of time And as have you seen, there's a lot of people making bug reports because the software is complex. So, but we never say that it's a you problem or that it works on my machine, so shut up. That never happens. It's not how things work.
Machine, every bit of hardware is different, and every bit of hardware is going to reveal another bug. And that's the good part about hardware.
And we don't have the resources to test and fix bugs for every possible hardware configuration, sadly. That's a reality. It's free. What you're using is completely free. You didn't pay anything to it. KDE is only employing 2 developers right now, I think. And it's awesome that there's a lot of volunteers and a lot of companies giving their developers the task to work on KDE Plasma. It's all amazing that we get to have a team like this, but you're not helping us much. I don't know if you've donated to KDE, and that would be awesome. But like, we cannot, we don't have the money to do what you're asking. We don't have the money to go ahead and check every possible hardware configuration. And probably there's stuff like big companies do that. Big companies tell you, send me your machine and we'll test your configuration. We'll fix it on your machine because we cannot reproduce it. But right now we are doing a lot more than what you would think given our budget and everything. But if you have a very niche bug that's only reproducible by you on your machine and we don't know what to do about it, I don't know, we're trying our best. How can we fix it? Practically.
You'll always find more things to fix. And once you get to the point where you start fixing bugs and not causing more bugs, is the minute everything is going to start to stabilize. KDE hasn't gotten to the point where it's starting to stabilize yet. And it's not.
Again, the number of KDE bugs is going down. Isn't that stabilized? I can't speak anymore.
Not really going to until they change the way that they do things. They need to fix bugs without causing more bugs. And it's a really hard thing to do.
Sorry, I got too angry and accidentally clicked on the stop recording button. Let's go back a few seconds.
To fix bugs without causing more bugs.
How did I not think of that?
And it's a really hard thing to do, but when you're constantly rushing things out the door, like they do, like they did with HDR, like they did with their VRR implementation, like they do with their multi-monitor implementation, like they do with their panels, their docks, their widgets, it sort of ends up being an endless cycle of, oh, this broke, let's just patch it and hope that it fixes it, and let's see if there's any more bug reports. No, you open up a pull request, you fix it, you call on your community, which they have, to openly test it, to give feedback, make another fix, and keep doing that until nothing else breaks. It's called coding properly. It's called bug fixing. And once they get a hang of this, once they truly start to open up and let their community give them feedback without
But we do!
banning them or putting them down, or
we never banned anyone for giving feedback.
their community give them feedback without banning them or putting them down, or
we don't put people down. What are you saying? Like, the closest thing to putting other people down that you're going to get is like this video, but come on, I'm doing this for fun. Like, there's no harm involved. But in bug reports, like, show me the bug reports where we put people down. We don't do that. And of course, there's gonna be maybe some people, like specific individuals within the very large KDE community that might say something inappropriate within a bug report. That sometimes happen, but it's quite rare. And there's like a team of people to address those behaviors, and it's not the general rule at all.
any of that other stuff, KDE is going to be amazing. It's going to happen one day, but it's going to take them a really long time until they get there. The reason I constantly go back to GNOME is that it doesn't give me 101 issues every day. If I spot a bug, I go, I report it. If it's already reported, I add my report to the bug. Then when they tag me, can you test this fix? I compile it, I test it. I say, great, it works, but they will fix that issue, and on and on and on.
Same applies to Plasma. The difference is that we do much more things, much more powerful, much more customizable, but much more things with the same or maybe even a smaller team of people. And it's not like we can just start dropping features entirely. I mean, we've done a bit of that to an extent, but we cannot just start dropping random features. And it's not like the issue is that we are adding stuff. And it's the stuff that we already do that is so much. We do things the same way as GNOME in this regard of fixing the bugs. But GNOME does it differently, as in they decided to like have very little features compared to KDE Plasma and do much less, like, which is a fine idea. We do things differently.
This is why GNOME takes so long to get things out, is because they want to make sure.
No, they don't get things particularly slower. They're not slower. They don't take more time to do things. Sometimes they don't do things. That's the difference. Sometimes GNOME decides not to do things. And we do too. But GNOME doesn't do more things compared to us. Though we've gotten pretty conservative as well recently. But they don't take more time to do things.
That fix doesn't break anything else.
There's a long process of... oh, sorry, you heard that. I was meant to disable that, sorry. There's a long review process in KDE Plasma as well.
That's why VRR is still an experimental, and that's why HDR is still experimental. HDR at this point in time is on par with, KDEs, but it's not finished. They're only in phase 1. Once they get to phase 3 and that's finished, they will fully be releasing HDR as a toggle. That's where GNOME differs from KDE. They put time and actual effort into their work. And
come on, like, I don't want to be overly negative about this video, but he's being very negative with Plasma, so I can do that. They put actual effort.
And wait for community feedback before pushing it or merging it. And that's what always will separate them apart. This is why they are stable, but they don't have as many features. And the lack of features is honestly fine as long as I can use my goddamn desktop every day without having 1,000 things bring me down.
So use GNOME. It's a different philosophy. If you don't need what Plasma is offering you, which is a lot more features objectively, if you don't need those extra features, which come with extra bugs necessarily, just use GNOME. It's fine. It's fine. We're doing our best to make sure that out of the box the experience is okay, that there's no extra bugs. But of course, with such a larger project compared to GNOME's, we're gonna have more issues. It's like inherent to our current design.
That's an exaggeration, at least 50. I have 3 issues on GNOME. One is the animation stutter. Okay, when you open up the launcher, that happens. They need to implement a shader cache for that so that you build it up enough times it doesn't happen. It remembers what your system is, what your specs are, what it does, kind of like with an emulator. Okay, there you go. 2, this is the second one. It's not actually a GNOME problem. It's actually more of a NVIDIA problem. Working with NVIDIA to make sure each driver release or before each driver release that VRR or HDR is not bugged out and broken. Okay? Because currently on the NVIDIA drivers, HDR is broken and VRR is broken on multi-monitors, which again is an NVIDIA issue, but if the developers worked with NVIDIA, they could solve that quicker than working by themselves. So basically the open source community coming together, the developers, and actually talking to one another, I think that would be really, really cool. That would definitely help everybody in the long run instead of just themselves. And another thing is, if the Wayland developers, the Wayland protocol developers stopped holding back everything for long periods of time and took proper feedback and would talk to the other developers about acts and reviews and implementations and so much more. Because we're waiting on a pull request from Wayland Protocols about color management that is very much needed for HDR
This is very much outside my scope, so I'm not gonna say anything.
10 plus, and it's taking 4 years now because they just don't communicate with one another. They keep arguing and bickering instead of working together to solve problems. This needs to change, and right now there is currently something called Frog Protocol that is trying to change this. And sooner or later, they're going to open up Wayland Protocol's Devil Branch or whatever, so protocols can be implemented and pushed out faster so that they can give more feedback and stuff like that and actually get things fixed. Anyway, a 15-minute video about this is long enough. I don't hate KDE. It just gets in my way. Hopefully this explains it to you. And if you're upset or salty or angry about my opinion and my experiences, too bad, so sad. I hate to be that guy, but look, your experiences are not my experiences. I'm not going to have the same thing that you did. I don't have your same heart.
By the way, a couple of things here. First of all, it's fine to use GNOME. We're not expecting KDE Plasma right now to be the best option for everybody. When you build a product, even KDE Plasma, you sort of have to have an audience in mind. And if that audience is literally everybody, you're bound to have problems. So right now, if you don't need what KDE Plasma is offering you, and if right now we can't offer you the stability that you wish, it's fine to use GNOME. I'm not going to complain or anything. It's fine. And regarding opinions, first of all, I have my full right to be angry at your opinions. I'm allowed to do that. And keep in mind that, yes, everybody is entitled to an opinion, but some opinions are less informed than others, and some are like more wrong. If I say that the heart is flat, sure, that's an opinion. It's a very bad one. So you can share this. I'm not saying don't say this. Of course you can. But I'm also saying that you're wrong. So I can do that.
Hardware. You have to remember that. Anyway, if you found this video, you're new here, go check out KDE. Maybe you'll have a better time than me. I have this annoying gift, or curse if you want to call it, where I can see bugs happening everywhere. And it annoys the hell out of me, where I can break video games if I need to. Hell, I've escaped the world of Guild Wars 2 and gone into development areas that are currently currently being worked on, and it was hilarious to do so. So I have a gift, and I'm trying to utilize it and focus it so I can maybe help report more issues. Sarah and Spirit, thank you for watching.
The best way to make sure that more bugs are fixed is to report them. That's all you have to do. And if you've done that already, as you say, I was trying to see some bug report links, but none is included. Overall, it's sad because there wasn't much practical criticism and example to talk about. This was just, KDE is bad. I'm not going to tell you why, because I've said it before and I was ignored, and therefore KDE ignores feedback, which is totally untrue. Totally. And but yeah, I think I should stop here. And this is much creative.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video today.
So go check him out. Is there anything else I would like to say? Probably not. I think I should stop here.